Welcome
Um,
to Shade in the City. I'm your girl Reese,
it's Mouse.
and today, y'all, we're here to give y'all our and
But
probably not
great.
very late and probably not up to date. But that's okay. We're gonna give you two.
Great.
Right, but it's still great. We're here for our sip and shade hot topics. Okay. So if you haven't already, all of our new viewers and our shade squad, please make sure you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it. Again, I just told Nels it was kind of a slow week, and we backed up on topics that we were supposed to talk about last week. So we just gonna rehash some things. But thank you for being here with us. And yeah, let's get shady, y'all. All right, y'all. So first, we're going to start off with congratulations to Mr. Greg Mathis Jr., which we all know is the son of Judge Mathis. And apparently, him and his partner Elliot Cooper got married. I believe it was over the weekend or this week, sometime this week. But they are married. Oh no, they exchanged vows October 21st at the Waldorf Astoria, excuse me, in Cabo San Lucas. All right, that's in Mexico for y'all that haven't are not international yet. You know what I'm saying? And apparently the you could tell somebody just got their passport. And apparently Judge Mathis actually officiated the wedding. So that's beautiful. Like I said, shout out to them. It was a very close, intimate ceremony. I think they said it was like only 15 relatives. I'm sure his mother was there, as well as the rest of his siblings. So like I said, shout out to them and congratulations. And as we know, another thing that I had in my list of things to talk about was last we saw Judge Mathis, we know that he was basically trying to find his way back. And when they caught up with him, I believe this was on October 10th. This is from TMZ, but apparently he said that he is almost completely fully reconciled with his wife after rescheduling all of his prior engagements due to her filing for divorce. And he said he hasn't had any trouble. He said he hasn't left home since he got in trouble. So kudos to Judge Mathis for understanding the assignment. And shout out to the Mrs. Mathis for putting her foot down and letting him know that she wasn't playing with his ass. Okay. And I'm not a fan of these people just be going to run to file divorce to threaten people. But hey, if that's what you got to do to make somebody understand.
First time in all these years, it probably really wasn't just a threat.
I don't think it was just a threat, but I'm saying we see all these celebrity couples and they file.
Yes.
Ray J, Princess. Didn't Erica and Safaree say they was going to get divorced? Then they wasn't getting divorced, and then she got pregnant again, and then they ended up getting divorced. Like it's a thing. And I'm not saying I'm all for reconciliation, but usually I think Cardi said she was going to divorce Offset. Then she did. Like again, I'm all with reconciliation, but sometimes you shouldn't reconcile. This one, they've been together for a while. I'm glad. And granted, if he didn't change nothing, Offset, then yeah, you probably shouldn't reconcile. But for this situation, I'm happy. As we know, they have been together for 30 plus years. I think it was 39. So yeah, I'm happy to see that they're doing better. So that's in love and marriage news, right? Next, we have I'm sure y'all heard, and this is from the Jasmine brand. As we know, this happened October 13th. We found out that Tia Kemp, y'all know I got a special place in my heart for Tia. Florida all day, Miami. But you know, her son was Pow Pow. It occurred, I guess, October 11th. They were delivering drinks to a grocery store, and a man in his 60s was reportedly struck by, a stray. And after a black SUV pulled up, appearing to target a 27-year-old black male nearby who's suspected to be Tia Kemp's son. I will say at this time they didn't have any like reasoning or why this was happening or cause. And I do believe that he's okay. I do believe we heard from Tia Kemp that he is doing better and he is on the mend. And I hope that they catch this before Tia do, whoever did this, because Tia absolutely gives me the vibe that she will catch a case for
Did you see her flipping out in the hospital?
Mm-hmm. I love me some Tia. You can't tell me nothing about Tia. I love that good old Miami cut short sound from top to bottom, girl. Top to bottom. And then you know what? I might as well go into it. So I don't know if y'all saw, I don't know the little girl name. Let me see if I can find it. And I apologize. I didn't mean to call you little girl, but unfortunately,
who are you talking about?
I believe her new boo, his new boo is named Justice. So I'm not sure if y'all saw a little I said little, ain't nothing little about this man, Rick Ross, which we all know is Tia Kemp's ex baby dad. What's her husband?
He got another one in rotation.
Yeah, we see he got a new pixie cut on the thing, and because we know he love a good pixie boy, and so you know what? At least she black, right? But so yeah, and apparently, you know, they seem to be all over each other, and you know,
always do.
In the mouth. That's how it always is, as we know. And that's why I wasn't trying
to be loving him and leaving him, boy.
Right. And again, wasn't trying to be offensive, but as we know, again, she has a pixie cut. I don't know what she does. But that's why I refer, because she's just unfortunately I think she's just another little girl that he's messing with. I apologize. I said it. Okay, I said it. But you know, hopefully she gets what she can get while she in it. And hopefully she don't get too bold. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I heard her on the internet the other day, and I hope this is not true, but I heard her on the internet the other day, I feel like talking about Tia, which we all know is the biggest mistake you can ever make. So if that is true, again, this is alleged, but if this is true, I will be back to report when Tia runs down and reads her.
You just might be wanting some more clout. But you know what? Speaking of I guess major celebrities that are dating people that we really didn't know who they were. You know who I'm surprised have lasted this long? Tyrese and his girl.
I forgot her name. I forgot her name. Zelly. One, Zelly's young. Two, I think that she's smart enough to know what she's in it for. I think this is just me. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think maybe he just ain't trying to have no more kids, because we see how he's fighting child support for the ones that he was in relationships with, these women, like married to them. But she gives me the vibe that she knows better. And I think she's in it for what she can get. I absolutely, and I think that once she's gotten all she can get, she'll be done. Maybe I'm wrong, and y'all can disagree with me in the comments, but I just think anytime a man spends so much time sitting back and talking about his ex-wives and his baby mamas and writing songs and albums about them and crying on the internet and crashing out over a woman he hasn't been with in years, it's like, it reminds me of, I saw this story today and I don't know the girl name, but and the reason I said that, it reminds me of the girl, I forgot her name, but apparently there's this girl that's dating this basketball player. I know the basketball player, Anthony Edwards, but apparently his girl, he's had 3 babies on her since they've been together. And she gonna stick beside him. And I was reading the comments and everybody was like, she has to be in it like for the money, because there's just no way you accept that type of disrespect and a man having babies on you openly, publicly, back to back to back, and you're still sticking around. Like, she's loud, proud. I'm not going nowhere. I ain't letting nobody else have, even though everybody else is having them anyway. So I don't know. So it just gives me the vibe, because of how he acts and how much he has other women women's names in his mouth, it definitely gives me the vibe that she's sitting back like, okay, clock is ticking. Let me hit a Shawnee O'Neal and start to stash some checks and do some things if she's smart. That's all I'm saying. All right. So on to the next story. Let's talk about the good Virgo that Neil loves to death, Miss Keke Palmer. Now, Miss Keke Palmer came out and let us know that she lives under her means. Okay, according to Neighborhood Talk, our good girl let us know that she had, instead of wearing Gucci, she's wearing Zara. Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby.
I
And
like that.
she's and she said, if I would go in the mall, I would wear Zara, but I don't like to go to the mall. She said, and I got a Toyota in my driveway right now. Now, she said that she admits that she filed bankruptcy at the age of 18. And she said that it freaked her out so much that she started to take precautionary measures to ensure her financial success and hired a business manager. And so basically, yeah, she says that she lives below her means. And I said kudos to her. I think that she's doing the right thing, especially because she has a son. Everybody knows in that Hollywood lifestyle, everything is so expensive because you are trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's we hear these stories of how a lot of people go broke. Prime example, Tony Braxton was rich as hell and filed bankruptcy twice.
I mean, listen, I don't know if it's a Virgo thing, but I am going to speak for Virgos when I just say we literally, if we want to be rich, it's so we can be comfortable, not to be flashy. We just want to be able to wake up, not have to wake up whenever we want, not have to worry about work. Make sure we can go to Starbucks every morning, chill, don't have to worry about nothing, just live comfortably. We don't necessarily have to have yachts and mansions and stuff. We just want to be able to live comfortably.
Oh no, I want those things.
I know.
It's funny. It is funny because you just reminded me, and she's actually very true because she yells at me because I'm a convenient shopper. And if that means I gotta spend a little bit more money going to the 7-Eleven or the CVS so I don't have to go to the dollar store or to the grocery store, that's absolutely what I'm doing. So yes, I spend a lot more money for convenience. Where this one, she's dollar store, she gonna save a good dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. She like, you know, you can get that at the dollar store. You know, you get that dollar store. You know, that's at the dollar store. I'm not going to the dollar store. And it's not that I'm passing judgment. It's not conveniently located for me. And even then, when I do go, the lines be long, and I don't have time, y'all. If that means I gotta spend a little bit more money for convenience, then that's what I'm doing. But yeah, so shout out to Keke for letting us know that it's okay to be financially responsible. Because as we saw, I don't know if y'all people saw it, I'm sure you did. But Angel Reese came out talking about how her rent is $8,000 a month. And I believe she said the WNBA, if I'm not mistaken, only pays her, I think she said 78,000.
Like for the year, not for the year.
That's what it gave.
But
Y'all
not
correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. WNBA is paid much less. And she's a star player. Now, I
not.
mean, granted, that's just her base salary. That's not counting on endorsements. Like she has a podcast. Like that's why she has. I'm sure that's why she has so many other things that
She
she's.
got to hustle. That ain't got nothing to do with. There's no way.
That's what she said. I mean, maybe her calculations was wrong. I ain't the best math person either. But when you think about 8,000 a month, and she's only making 78, she's paying more in like rent after 12 months than she's making.
It says $73,439.
Can't make this up. That's why they said that's why everybody goes to bat so hard for WNBA because the pay discrepancy is so tremendous. Because speaking of people, speaking of basketball, as we know, our good girl Drea, y'all know I like me some Drea. I mean, she might not always make the best decisions, but clearly she made a good one because her little young thing, right? He done messed around and signed a deal. Let me make sure I get my numbers right. I
I think
think it was
he renewed his contract.
130 million or something, or no, I'm sorry, 103 million over 3 years. I said, Drea know a bank when she see one,
Yes,
bitch.
she did. She said, I saw the potential in
She
that.
said, so y'all, no, I'm sorry, 106 million over 3 years. And I said, you know what? All that time we talked all that junk and oh, he's so young and da da da. She said, I'll rock this baby to sleep.
She look, look, pocket full of grown.
Okay. Look, he might be a baby, but he got grown man money.
Exactly.
So yeah, shout out to those that are getting their money. And Andrew Reese, make sure you managing your money well. Uh don't be let's not we don't want to hear a story about you being in a kiki position, okay?
I need your fan right now.
What happened?
I need your fan right now.
Why? Because I'm being shady.
Yes.
Oh. And so now let's jump into some crazy stuff, y'all. I really found y'all know I usually don't do like the crazy stories and stuff like that unless I find them very, very interesting. And this one just really caught my attention. So apparently, this gentleman, according to a report by LA and Crime, on October 4th, officers responded to a pow powing of a 24-year-old woman named Mary Jane Collins. Without saying how, detectives were able to figure out that the motive behind her unaliving, Mary Jane's baby daddy, who was 25-year-old Michael King, had been convicted of unaliving a man named Diawan Triplet in 2020. Now, that was 4 years ago. All right. But as y'all know, there's no time limit on the get back or spinning the block. I didn't write this. I swear this is neighborhood talk. This is not me. I'm reading. Okay. So Triplet's brother, DeWaylen Hurst, mama got real creative with the names. So DeWaylen Hurst developed a relationship with Mary Jane years after his brother's unaliving. It didn't take long for DeWaylen to start physically knocking her upside her head. And it's unknown if she was aware at the time that he was the brother of the man her BD had unalived. But apparently, on the day of her unaliving, she was FaceTime via a smuggled phone by her incarcerated BD. He didn't know DeWaylen was with her. This was the moment DeWaylen was waiting for. He began to basically slap her around. And basically, I heard he also like harmed the kids as well. Why the man was on the phone so that he could see it. And then, and then basically he unalived her just in a plot to get back for his brother's situation. And I want y'all to weigh in, Shade Squad, new viewers. I'm grown at this point in my life. However, I can't understand wanting revenge. So I don't know. I think that it's messed up because she had nothing to do with it necessarily. So, but I watch enough gangster shows where
The Power Universe.
I was gonna say I watch enough Power and all this other stuff to know that unfortunately this is how it really works.
Collateral damage and
Yeah, it's how it really works in life. So I'm not saying that it's right. I just want to know what y'all think. I definitely think it was wrong. I think it's unfair. We have kids out here that don't have a mother, and obviously their father's locked up.
well, was the brother collateral damage, or was he like the brother that was unalived?
No, I think he was just unalived by the BD. Like whatever. I don't know. They didn't get into what exactly they were beefing over or why he was unalive, but I think obviously the brother knew, like, you unalive my brother. And can you think, like, if anything, can you imagine how toxic that is to sit on that for years, to be with somebody that you don't really mess with like that, and you're literally just doing it to the right moment so you can act out your plan. Now that's a new level type of crazy sociopath, like if I've seen it.
I'm sure he was also benefiting in some type of way. Um, did he unalive the kids too?
No.
Or just
No, he just beat the kids up. He just harmed the kids. But like, just beat them. Thankfully, he didn't, but again, we have kids that don't have a mother now because of this crazy man and his revenge plot. So I just think it's sad. I thought it was a crazy story, and I just wanted to bring that to y'all so I can get your thoughts. Now let's get into oh baby. I can't keep talking about her. So Joy came up on Beyonce's internet, y'all. And she said that she was responding to what the people were saying, maybe what, me and Nails didn't say it. We just talked about it, okay? But apparently she was responding to the comments of people saying that she's a serial baby mama. And she's like, y'all act like I just met these people and get pregnant. And she's like, I've been with these people for years and it just doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm gonna give her Bow Wow. I'll even give her last baby daddy, the football player, because I know they were dating for a while. What I'm not gonna give you, Joy, and I love you, girl. I do. I'm not gonna give you Future. I'm not. Everybody knew before Sierra and after how toxic that D was. And I don't care how good of a friend you were, what bills he was paying, what trips he was. It made, and just the connection between the fact that your baby daddy used to date Sierra. Me personally, I don't like closeness like that. I wouldn't have done that myself. So, I mean, I'm not saying that, yeah, you just laying up here and, trying to have babies or be a baby mama. I'm sure you love your kids and they're beautiful and that's great. But I can't give you Future. I can't give you Future. I'm sorry. And if you were dating for a long time, we didn't know it. No.
Mm-mm.
And can you, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. Can you even consider yourself in a relationship with Future? Like, even if you are dating him, I would assume that you have to know that you're one of many. Like, can you really consider that?
They feel like they're the main. They feel like they're the main one.
And see, I guess that's where I'm old school. Main, only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm trying to be the only. When we start talking main, that's when I start talking cutting. Anyway, so then we're gonna jump over to Netflix news. I'm sure if y'all don't know already, Love is Blind season 1, Amber and Barnett are expecting their first child. So shout out, congratulations to them. I'm surprised they're still together. I ain't even gonna hold you. I mean, they did, they had their issues because what's the name? Amber had some money issues, financial problems, and Barnett was not that person. And he wanted her to get it together. And then I think we saw them when they came back and did the recap when they caught up with them, and she still was barely working. And they said that they had, taken some time apart and then got back together. So I'm actually very surprised. And like I said, I am happy for them because I didn't think they was gonna last this long. I really did. I literally thought Lauren and Cameron were the only two out of that season that actually had a loving, long-lasting situation. So
Just because doesn't mean it's loving.
Kudos to them. Now, Bravo Peacock News, okay? We're gonna go one by one here. All right. Now, Mia, as we like to call her, Mia be lying. Mia Thornton accuses her soon-to-be ex-husband of being a predator who groomed her at the age of 19. Also claims she caught him having sex with one of her friends in their home. All right. So apparently, according to Mia, Gordon's true intentions were revealed early on when he admitted he wanted a woman who could make him a kept man. As their relationship progressed, Mia claims Gordon exerted control over her, threatening her future success if she didn't comply with his demands. Despite attempts to distance herself, she alleges Gordon began showing up unannounced and making her feel trapped. By age 24, Mia had built a successful business and life for herself, but the couple's finances began to spiral as Gordon's lavish spending exceeded his means. The final straw came when Mia allegedly walked in on Gordon kissing and having sex with a friend of hers at their home, prompting her to consider leaving. Gordon reportedly begged her to stay, revealing he was bankrupt and in the need of help. Mia claims she stayed and tried to rebuild with him, only to face years of emotional, as y'all know, and manipulation.
I want to know what Furnace is.
I mean, I think it's not Jacqueline, thankfully.
I was about to say it can't be Jacqueline.
But I don't know. They be, the way they be sharing and caring and do things. I'm gonna. This is not my point of view, but I'm gonna put another perspective on the table. Do I think it's bad? Do I definitely think that he saw a pretty young thing, and was like, "Oh, let me get that." However, one thing that I can point out, that a lot of people point out, he was whole married when she met him, and she knew he was married when she met him. He left his wife and his kids to be with Mia. And so I'm not saying that I don't think anyone should be mistreated, but I'm a big believer that karma comes in many ways, in many different forms. Okay. And I don't know. If I was Mia, I would be sitting back like, I brought this on myself based off of the decisions that I made. Yes, he was the one married, and yes, I wasn't. However, I absolutely knew and had knowledge that he had this whole family, and I was a part of the downfall of that. So there has to be some accountability and level of responsibility there. And I love Mia, but I really feel like she's only doing this because he wants alimony. He wants spousal support.
Sir, you took care of me.
But we know Gordon has lost all his money at this point, or a good portion of it. She's the breadwinner now, so I think, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm not trying to say she's bluffing, but it gives me the vibe that she's saying all this now because she's trying to fight to keep her bag.
I mean, she went through so much to get it in the first place.
But see, I would be like, well, to Gordon's point, well, you moved in with ink so quick, have him help you out. Have him help them payments. He out here trying to claim my son and shit. Have him help you make them payments.
Yeah, for my family, that ain't got nothing to do with you. With your grown
ass. In other news, so I think I spoke about this on our Real Housewives of Potomac recap, but I'm just gonna go over it again. Karen Huger accuses officers of conducting an illegal search during her DUI arrest. She pleads with the court to suppress evidence due to her Miranda rights not being read. All right. So this is from the Neighborhood Talk, and basically, she's claiming that while Karen was detained at the accident site, she was being interrogated by officers in an aggressive manner, which is crazy. Her attorney claims she was asked how much she had to drink, and the information obtained during that questioning was obtained through illegal search and seizure, violating her Fourth Amendment rights. Karen is also claiming she was not read her Miranda rights, so interrogation was illegal, and all statements and police video after her illegal interrogation should be suppressed. She eventually went so far as to request that the entire case be dismissed, and prosecutors rejected that request, and argued that the statements and information collected were obtained illegally. So good try, Karen. Good try, Grand Dame. At this point, I mean, I ain't go to nobody's law school. You know what? I'm gonna slide up in Simone's chat and ask her. But I ain't go to nobody's law school, right? But I would think your best idea, if I was your lawyer, I would go attend some classes to show that I'm remorseful. I would be donating to MAD to show that I am really sorry and I realize that I made a mistake.
She's worried about looking at like she's incriminated.
I think she's really scared that they're gonna drop that the camera footage. Because at that point, once you have it on cam, that's kind of hard to deny. I mean, you could say, "Oh, you were so emotional," but like I said, when they found the two beer cans in the back, that's not helping your case.
She don't even look like a beer drinker. I want to know what the hell she was drinking.
I don't know. Maybe it was a good IPA. Don't act. Look, don't get me out here acting like I know the difference between a beer because I don't. Okay, so that's it for Karen, right? So now we're gonna move on to your good girl Phaedra Parks. Okay, so as y'all know, Real Housewives of Atlanta hopefully will be coming back before the end of the year. Fingers crossed. But you know, Phaedra's on Dancing with the Stars now, and she basically credited herself for bringing the juice, the baboo, back to Married to Medicine. And I've watched clips, but Nels can tell you I'm not a big avid Married to Medicine watcher. Nels is that's her thing. And so she could probably weigh in on this a little better because the only thing I heard you say was her outfits look good.
I was about to say she definitely brought the fits. She brought
And
the fits.
and everyone else that I've heard talk about the show said she gave absolutely nothing but facial expressions.
Yeah, she.
Um and so it was funny because Quad and Heavenly came out and you know they had something to say and it was like, how dare you?
Dr.
And
always makes the show.
I'm sorry, but if I were to watch the show, it would be for Dr. Heavenly as well.
Literally, she always makes the show. Like I like the other ladies also, but Dr.
Mhm.
Heavenly is just she's entertaining. I like Quad too though. I like Quad. Quad just wasn't really on it that much this past season. But Dr. Heavenly makes the show for me.
Well, Quad and Heavenly said that, you know, that's not true, basically, and she's tripping. Um,
She's definitely tripping.
and if they said if anything, Married to Medicine revived her career. Well, Phaedra responded and said that the numbers never lie, and it was the best numbers they had in the history of the show.
But it didn't have nothing to do with Phaedra being on there.
And I'm not gonna hold you. I think if they got the best numbers on the show, because the reason I was so into not even watching, but so like into the news, that was because of Sweet Tea and Greg and Quad. If I'm not mistaken, if I was watching, that's why I would have wanted to watch.
That was why people were tuning in. It was
Right,
because Quad was on there, Sweet Tea was on there, and Greg was on there, and everybody wanted to see that drama unfold.
right.
It didn't have nothing to do with Phaedra.
Bless her
Although
heart.
Sweet Tea got on my damn nerves too, though.
I like Sweet Tea. She's like a
Even
cute.
watch it.
I no, but the clips that I've seen, I like her. She's like a cute country, like little bunkin. Like she's herself.
That ain't cute.
Well,
It
up
was
against all the glam girls, like, and you know, like she's doing better. If you see pictures of her now and like her outfits, like that's her first season. That's what I'm saying. We see if you go back and look at photos of
her
how,
or not, Tree. She was like, it was bad.
but if you go back, like I seen some footage the other day of like the first season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you see how Nene and Sheree were dressed and how they just and the wigs is bad. And it's like first seasons are
You
okay.
know, the thing is that I think the issue is I can't give her as much grace as like the first season of Housewives of Atlanta. That was literally their first season. But you are hanging out with girls that have been there. Greg has been on the damn season. Then they bring us into her house after Greg has been. You know what? Maybe we should be blaming Greg, okay?
I was
Because
gonna say he shouldn't have let her go out. He should have known what the
because
assignment was.
after seeing Quad,
Mhm.
right? And him being with Quad, the way the house was put together, the way Quad's outfits was always put together. And now you are the woman who is taking this woman's place with a man who's been on the show before for a few seasons. He knows what to expect. He know what it should look like. And he brings you in looking like he really just picked you up off the street.
Don't do that. But I
From
think
not even off the street, some country dirt road.
I think that I think, in my opinion, and again, I did not watch it, but from what I saw from the clips, the very short clips and the reviews that I watched, um, I will say that I think that makes her a little lovable. Like,
No, I didn't love nothing about her. I got tired of seeing her on my screen. She annoyed me. She annoyed the shit out of me. I hated seeing her. Like,
well, there
no.
y'all have it. Y'all drop down the comments. Let me know. Is it just me? Do I have a soft spot? I always have a soft spot for the underdog. I really do. I really do. Oh, and speaking of and this is so
And
totally.
also, I might be also a little biased. You know, I love Quad.
Oh, see, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you
I
like
do. I
Quad.
love Quad. But
Um,
T got on my damn nerves just seeing her on my screen.
you're terrible. So yeah, y'all, and you were talking about something and it made me think about something. And now I lost my train of thought. Oh, and allegedly, where my banner at? Where my banner at? So I can make sure I put up alleged. And allegedly, before we got up here tonight, I saw on my ex that apparently Bold and Bougie
Oh Lord.
is getting a season 2. Now, I shared this news with Really B and obviously my co-host. Really B said, "Get away with me with this. Get away from me with this, okay?"
And I
Uh,
said that.
and Nell said she seconds that. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't the worst TV I've seen. But I don't know. Y'all can drop down in the comments. I know Really B. I
Me,
don't
it
think
was
she finished
better
the
than
season.
I would prefer to watch that than watch Love and Marriage Detroit.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly. I would rather watch Bold and Bougie than watch Love and Marriage Detroit. And maybe because I I didn't,
But
even
it
though,
depends on who's going to be on the season
well,
because
Ghost Shay, as we saw, is coming back. It looks like it's coming back.
I don't
I
really,
I
I don't
want
really,
Crystal back because
yeah, yeah, I don't care about Ghost.
honestly, I watched it. I really liked, like, I liked seeing this
I
side
want
of
to
her.
so, and I want to see Tamika.
Yes, and I want to see Tamika because I actually liked her after this. The whole show changed my whole perspective of
I just
Tamika.
like that she's a bitch and she owns it. Like she, like from beginning to end,
Right.
that's who she was.
But yeah,
Um,
y'all, will y'all be tuning in to season 2 of The Bold and the Bougie?
I think just like us, it depends who's on it.
Right. But y'all drop down in the comments, let us know. In other news, congratulations are in order for Shareff O'Neal, which y'all know is the son, 24-year-old son of Shawnee and Shaq. He just inked a deal with the Sacramento Kings. And so kudos to him. Or I was listening to something the other day, and I don't know if it was Shaq or if it was Charles Barkley, and they were talking about Bronny, LeBron's son, because
Yeah.
he just took the court with his dad, and even though he didn't score no points, the 3 minutes that he played, and it was like, I understand he's LeBron's son, but he needs to go in the G League first and get his feet wet versus being in the NBA, because
So
he's
is
not.
it G like the lowest? Is that the lowest
I
you can
think it's like, I hate to sound like it's the practice squad, but it's like,
it be
yeah,
on TV? It's on TV.
no, nobody watches G League on TV. I don't even think they televise G League games. I may be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think they tell. Shout out to Shareff for making the Sacramento Kings, and as you can tell, Nels is not
That's a
the
real
one to
team.
comment,
That's a good
not the
team.
one to
Like,
commentate on sports. Okay.
okay, so he went from G to A.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a huge jump.
Yeah. That's a good thing for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations.
You. And you know what's so funny? I'm sure it's gonna be some of y'all in the comments that are just like Nails and don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I'm glad that I could give y'all some type of explanation. Now we got to go over to, I'm going to start to call this segment of Sip and Shade Diddler's Corner. All right. So we got to go over to Diddler's Corner because, there's no week, there is no date where there isn't a Diddy update. All right. So y'all know Shine is set to be releasing I guess a movie or a documentary that talks about like his rise to fame. It's going to be on Hulu. I believe it's set to come out, let's see when they said, November 18th. And basically,
Did 50 already drop the Diddy?
no, 50 hasn't dropped anything yet.
Okay.
Because somebody keeps asking me about Surviving Diddy, and he's like, I'm gonna go watch it, and I'm like, it's on your, stop watching things on Tubi. Just stop. Wait till like real stuff comes out. So yeah, so it's dropping November 18th. And apparently he talks about his rise to fame, but he also talks about that awful night where they were in a club with Diddy and J-Lo, and he ended up basically serving jail time and taking the fall for him. And he basically talks about how he was, set up for the fall guy, and how basically Diddy's attorneys were working against him. So, and he did his bid and he came back and got into politics. And now he's like the prime minister or president of Belize. And I was like, well, you
You
better
don't even
shine.
sound the same. Don't even sound like the same man.
This is going to sound so terrible to say. I'm going to say it. I'll never shine married. Just,
Shine back in the day was fine. Shine now was not. And then that's what I'm saying. He don't even sound the same. The voice too, his little body was like, oh, okay, Shine. Now it's like, yeah, just stay over there. Yeah, but you were the prime minister. Yeah, just do that.
look, I'm like Lisa Ray. I wouldn't mind being a first lady. That's all I'm saying. Of Belize, man. that look fun. I'm just saying. I don't never see Shine with no lady friend.
You try to see what that be like.
I'm just saying I don't never see him with no lady friend. Do you? I hope that don't mean what I think it mean. I hope that mean he just ain't found me yet. Okay.
I was about to say. I mean, he was locked up for a while.
Don't do that. All right. So as we know, about 3 days ago, um, there was another Diddy allegation. This time, this is from Neighborhood Talk. It's coming from a woman who claims she was 13 years old at the time of her essay. It's a civil lawsuit. And basically she claims that Diddy and another male celebrity, raped her at a VMA after party back in 2000. Jane Doe claims at 13 she was trying to get into the award show, but she didn't have a ticket. So she just started going up to limos and eventually stumbled across Diddy's driver. Can I just tell you, and I'm never blaming the victim, but can we just, parents of young ladies, can we please explain how situations like this get you in worse situations that you're not looking for? I'm not blaming anyone.
Your child get in a situation like that.
Well, I don't know why she was running around the VMAs by herself, but that ain't for me to. I'm just reading the story, okay? So, so basically, she ran into Diddy's driver. The driver allegedly invited her to the after party, claiming that she fit what Diddy was looking for. So, and then he drove her to the party in the limo. From there, the woman claimed she was given a drink that she believed was spiked. She started to feel woozy and lightheaded, and eventually made her way into an empty bedroom. Then as she laid on the bed, Diddy walked in with two other celebs, male and female. Jane Doe claims Diddy had a crazed look in his eye, and he said, "You are ready to party." Um, you know, it's so funny. I feel like everybody in almost every lawsuit we have heard about talks about how he's talking about, oh, now you ready to party. I like, if I hear those words, I would immediately like, like I'm triggered just hearing that because I've heard it so many times.
You know what story I thought you were gonna talk about, the one that the girl got set up by her friend.
Yes. So that was another lawsuit that came out last week. I was going to get on that, but this one came out 3 days ago. So we'll see what happens with this Jane Doe. She says that she's in deep depression. It still affects her to this day. And she claims she signed an NDA, which prevented her from talking about what she saw at the celebrity field party. So again, another day, another Diddy. And then as Nails was talking about, well, we did learn last week as well that they did allegedly find out that all the lube that they found and confiscated was laced with, I believe it was GHB, which we all know is the date grape drug. So it's just really sad, y'all. It's just really sad. And as we know, more and more stories are coming out, but this is the one Nels was talking about. This is from the Javson brand. But there was a woman, she actually put her name out, Ashley Parham. She filed a lawsuit alleging that he essayed her with a TV remote after she made the remark about, basically she insinuated or suggested that he had something to do with the unaliving of Tupac. So she said that her friend was on FaceTime with Diddy at the time, and he was like, "Oh, look, I'm on the phone with Diddy," or whatever. And she said she wasn't impressed, and she made the statement that, hey, you know, like I'm not really feeling him. I think he had something to do with, you know, Tupac's unaliving. Diddy, this upset Diddy. She said that she went back to her friend's home.
Yeah, I think he told her something like you're gonna pay for that or something
Yeah,
like
you're
that.
gonna pay, but she's not thinking of it. Obviously, she trusted this guy. She goes back to her friends.
I thought the friend was a homegirl. I thought it was a girl. No?
No, it was a
It
guy.
was oh, okay.
Hmm. He invited her back to her home, and then she says that he kind of left the door cracked, and she asked him why, and he was like, "Oh, because there's something going on, and like they're
Something
coming back to fix it or something like that." And only for a little bit after she was there, Diddy arrived. She said that the assistant, which we hear a lot about, his do girl, and another guy basically undressed her and then lathered her down in the magic baby oil. Um, and then from there, I mean, she felt it, but she couldn't do anything about it. And yeah, and so it was just really awful. And then apparently, I believe in this lawsuit, she actually was able to at least get a little lit back. She got her little on.
My thing, who like I mean, besides like all this craziness, right? Like who needs all this sex?
I would think somebody that's really high off drugs. I would imagine. I don't know. They say I don't know because they say that pink stuff, which they say he likes to do, they said that pink stuff has it's mixed with I believe it was ecstasy and meth. So and cocoa.
Hmm.
So imagine going up and you want to touch everything in the room because you want X, and I cannot
No,
tell
I think
you
the
the
movie he was in. Remember he was touching the furry wall?
yeah, and I can't tell you what the meth do besides mess up your teeth. I don't know. I've never experienced that. I don't know too many people that have done it, and I don't want to find out the effects of it. But hey, but I would imagine all three combined probably give you a really crazy high.
Hmm.
It makes you want to do a little and just be voyeuristic. And I mean, I honestly I would think ecstasy would be enough. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts. Um, but yeah, y'all. And as we're getting ready to close this thing out, we're gonna jump out of the Diddler's corner. We do know that Megan the Stallion dropped a little 2-minute video. We know she is getting ready to release her documentary In Her Words, which comes on Amazon Prime October 31st. Will you guys be watching? And she basically gives the backstory of everything she went through, obviously, the challenges, and then having to, becoming famous, going through what she went through with the whole thing with Tory Lanez, and then obviously losing her mom and all of this. And it was just a lot. And I will watch. I'm tuning in. And I may come back on a sip and shade chat and give y'all a little rundown of what it was. But I'll be tuned in. Drop down chat. Let me know if y'all gonna be watching. Well, let me tell you what I won't be watching.
Chris Rick.
Anything against Chris Brown.
Yeah, they tripping.
I said it. And if y'all, I said it. I'm not doing it. But hey, then last but not least, I think we can close it out. Well, y'all know, over the weekend it was like Howard homecoming and University of Maryland. Well, at least up here. And we know that Black China got engaged to, what is this man's name? I had it written down on a piece of paper because I don't know who. Derek Milano. So congratulations to I'm sorry, Angela White. Let me correct myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations to Angela White on her proposal. I do believe it happened at Howard Homecoming while they were on stage. Tokyo Tony seemed to be very happy for her daughter. So I love the new Angela. I'm here for it.
Love that now that she's sober, they can, get along and be in the same space and hang out together. It's not, the constant bickering and fighting.
Right. Okay, see, I probably have a difference of opinion.
What?
I do think that Angela Black China did probably have some substance abuse issues,
Hmm.
but Tokyo Tony is toxic as hell.
Oh, she is, but that's somebody she's been dealing with her entire life.
it would drive me to drink. But okay, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I guess I get it.
She's better able to tolerate her now that
What'd you say?
I said she's better able to tolerate her now that she's sober.
Or maybe just like maybe she don't take it as seriously because there's still a lot of things. And I mean, I do think Tokyo Tony, granted, she'll go to bat for her child, but I still think that she does things that are a little problematic. But like you said, I guess when she's sober, she's a little, she's able to not take it as seriously or not feed too much into it. And so last but not least, we gonna touch on it, even though everybody has already talked about it. Oh, Erica and Safaree of it all, okay? So as y'all know, Safaree done went on his good little YouTube channel. Y'all can go over there and watch the video if y'all like. And basically shows us that Erica done hopped the fence to come into his house. She's banging on the door all outside. He shows that she's basically physically mistreating him, is the word I'm going to use, in front of the kids, breaking stuff, got them walking over glass, and basically just really crashing out over this man, okay? Now, what I'm going to say is I really don't think that a behavior is appropriate in front of kids at all. And I don't know. I need both of them to grow up, and I need them to take us out the group chat.
The only issue I had was the fact that it was in front of the kids. This man chased her for years.
Okay? No, and I will say that I had two babies for you. Right. I do feel a little bad for her because it's absolute, like you said, he chased her for years, but not only that, the gaslighting, the like you begging me back, and then I give you a chance, because I don't doubt for a second that they were still smashing up until not too long ago. I absolutely no woman who is not still getting that peen acts like that, in my opinion. You're not gonna do all that. But if you're still screwing me and there's still that soul tie, emotional tie, oh yeah, I might start acting like a nut.
Like, I mean, on top of that, you're hardly paying anything in child support. You hardly.
That's what I'm saying. There's no reason. That's why it has to be the D. It has to be the D.
Let me tell you something. I would have been flipped out. You're not paying hardly anything in child support. Y'all here buying Rolexes for somebody else's kids.
Oh, and y'all, I don't know if y'all saw it. He just bought Amara Lanegra a diamond necklace for her birthday.
10-carat necklace. But you always in her face. You can't come see your kids. You can't give them more. Like, no. I would have been flipped out. I'd have flipped out a long time. I don't know if I'm jumping nobody's fence.
For me, it was the finding the ladder.
Yeah, I don't even think that's really what it was.
Like, I can't even be mad at her for being smart, because I would have been the one really struggling trying to jump up and pull myself over the fence. So kudos to her for being like, oh, there's a ladder over there, and working it out. But yeah, nah.
No, the only issue I have is that she did it in front of the kids. Other than that, I mean.
Well, Erica says she refuses to go back and forth with this man anymore because apparently, I think from seeing the video, unfortunately, even though we know Safaree is a butthole, it just made her look bad. In my eyes. I mean, I ain't her biggest fan, no way. But after seeing, and I'm definitely not a fan of Safaree's. I definitely know he's toxic as hell. However, it just made her look bad. And my whole thing is, if you don't want somebody no more and you trying to move on, and that's why I said they have to still be sleeping together. It's almost like that's why even it made so much sense to me when Tia Kemp slipped up when she was talking to Young Miami and admitted that she was still dibbling dabbling with Rick Ross. That's why she gets off on the internet and pops off like that. There's because it's passion. You're still like, you don't do all that for somebody that you not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I would never give a person that much energy. Never. So, yeah, girl, I hope that you stick to what you said, Erica. You got all these acting jobs. I'm All Black, Tubi, all these other things that you doing, child. I don't know what Safaree is doing. I don't know how he get his money to be buying all these things outside of putting up YouTube videos of you. So therefore, I think that and he wants his child support lowered. So, girl, we all make bad decisions. It sucks. You had two beautiful blessings from it, but you got to pick up and move on, sweetie. And then I ain't gonna hold you. He said something that was so true, because he said what we were all thinking. He was like, y'all out here judging me and like, what's wrong with you and why can't he said, I'm not the one looking like I'm sick and I'm barely there and I'm just, and I was like, because he sees what he's doing, but at least I know we've talked about it, how the girl is just dwindling down to nothing, and you can tell that it's stress. You can tell that it's stress. She looks stressed. Everybody talk about the veins in her forehead that you could see, because she's so damn stressed. And he said, he made fun of it, but that was the one thing he said. I said, he ain't say nothing wrong. He ain't say nothing wrong. Now you're causing that. You're a part of that trigger. However, yeah, he ain't over there doing all that over you. So, girl, let it go. I understand. I don't know. Apparently, Safaree got it like that. I don't know.
I seen it. It was this little baby arm. But I don't know how he work it.
I was gonna say, just because you got it don't mean you know how to.
Trust me, I know, because I've been there where had it and
don't know what to do with it.
It ain't what it's hitting for.
Right. Okay. So yeah, now this is turning to Shadeinthecity After Dark. So yeah, y'all, we appreciate you being here with us for the sip and shade of the week. We'll try not to be so tardy, and hopefully we'll get some news in the next couple of days, so we'll actually have something up here to talk about. We ain't got to go like 2 weeks back. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment.
Make sure that you guys are subscribed
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and the IG. And yeah, y'all, we will catch you next week. I promise. We'll be on time. We'll be back next week. All right, y'all. Have a good night and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.